Hiboy S2 Pro. 2 thumb throttles? Solid wheels. Got that need for speed underglow. What does that do? So grippy. Is that supposed to do that?
Hi, I'm Chris, and behind the camera is Elizabeth, and we live full-time in a truck camper RV, and I'm going to make the case for you today why the Hiboy S2 Pro might be the perfect transportation solution for you if you either live in an RV in a campground like we do, or maybe you live in a college campus or somewhere where you're looking for a last mile option for your transportation. So let's go over some of the fast facts real quick. So most importantly for everybody looking at a scooter is price. Right now this thing is under $450, and that's why I think it makes it so awesome. Because for that, you get a 500 watt motor up front powered by a 36 volt 11.6 amp hour battery that is IPX4 rated, so you don't have to worry about splashes and stuff like that. And then the little secret under here is there is a dual rear suspension back here, which is adjustable. We haven't adjusted it. It's set up from the factory for a person who weighs 165 pounds. I weigh 185. Elizabeth weighs 125, so it's right in between. So it's been working well for us. Another awesome thing about this scooter is if you see these tires, the slots in the side, they're actually solid rubber, so you never have to worry about getting a flat. And that is a super handy thing if you use this the way we do. For us, this is not a toy just to have a blast on. There's better scooters if you're just looking for a toy to go fast. That's 19. We use this thing like a tool, and having to never worry about getting a flat and just being able to pull it out of the truck and use it daily like we do. I really prefer the solid rubber tires. Though the ride is a little bit rougher, never having to worry about a flat is so nice. Now for the stopping, in the back here, we have a mechanical disc brake, which works awesome, although we never use it because this little scooter has a trick up its sleeve, and that is this little lever up here is the regenerative braking. So you have two thumb throttles essentially up here. The red one makes you stop, and the black one on your right hand side makes you go. For us around here with the hills and everything, we always use this regen braking. It's much smoother and it's completely silent. The other nice thing about this is the light is really bright. It's actually a better light than some of our e-bikes that have much larger batteries and are much heavier and have much bigger lights. This light works really well at night, and it also has these red underglow lights and a tail light that it doubles as a brake light. And that's super nice because we do ride these at night a lot, and we live in this campground, and we live out of a camper full time. So when we're not using this at work, we bring it back here. And just having the confidence that, you know, everybody can see you at night is really nice. Now, because this is an awesome last mile option for transportation, and the way we use it a lot is we bring it with us in the truck when we go to work, is how easily it folds down. Put the kickstand up and you're ready to go. And because this thing only weighs 36 pounds, it is super easy to carry around. So we lived in Seattle for a while, and I remember watching people carry one wheels around, and I think this would even be easier to carry than a one wheel to get on and off the ferry, in and out of the subway, on and off the bus, or wherever you're going. Or for us, we put it in the back of a Ford Ranger and it goes to work with us. And we use it to count cars in a big parking lot that we work at. With that 500 watt motor, this thing is rated for a 15-degree hill climb. Now, just so happens that right behind us here at the campground, we have a 15-degree hill. I weigh 180 pounds, 185 pounds. Let's go see if it can actually do it. Now, the scooter does have a 19 mile an hour top speed, and I did verify that with a GPS. It will do 19 miles an hour, and it's rated for 25 miles of range. I have not been able to get anywhere near close to that. We've been getting about half of that. So that is a very optimistic 25 miles, but still, the way we use this and the way I think most people would use a budget scooter like this is to get that last mile into work, to cross a big parking lot, or on a college campus. All right, so we made it here to our test track, and this is a 15-degree hill. This is a no-joke hill. 15 degrees is very steep, so I was impressed that they claim it can do that. Battery's fully charged. We're in sport mode. It has 2 modes, sport and eco. So we've got it in sport mode, so that it unlocks the full power. Let's see if we can do a 15-degree hill climb with a 185-pound person from a dead stop. No cheat. Let's see what it can do. Woo. All right, there's 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour for a second, 7 miles an hour. I'm beginning to have a little sympathy for the scooter. We're holding her wide open. Still 7. This is impressive, actually. Our dog here is enjoying this, and maybe you can get a sense of how steep this is. Now we're down to 6 miles an hour. This is the true test here. 5 miles an hour.
It gets a little steep right here.
Yeah, this is a true 15% right here. 5 miles an hour. You're not going to be keeping up with traffic, but just knowing that it will do it. Now we're getting back to 6 miles an hour, and we went up this hill 185 pounds. 15 degrees, so it actually does do that. That's impressive. Not fast, but it does it. I really don't like riding bicycle and scooter disc brakes down a hill, but what's super nice about this is I don't have to feel that mechanical sympathy of wearing my pad down and overheating it and warping it and just the irritating noise it makes. I can just use the regen brake right here. And what's really cool is you can actually see the meter light up showing my regen force. So right here you can see I'm getting 1 little regen bar, and it'll bring it to a dead stop. But you can see here, just using the regen brake, how awesome and quiet that is.
Pretty good braking capability.
Yeah, this is a very steep hill. I'm not the biggest person in the world, but I'm also not the lightest. But the way it'll bring it almost to a dead stop and just hold it there. It's holding it at 2 miles an hour right now. It's almost like hill descent control. Now the pavement here is really rough, and you can feel the difference in between a pneumatic and a solid tire here. But even with this rough pavement, this is completely fine. You can feel the rear suspension working. It is a little tight, but you can feel it working on this rough pavement. And if you had to walk to go to the bathroom this far, I know this is not a far distance, but if you had to walk this far to go to the bathroom every time you wanted to go to the bathroom or take a shower, you'd get tired of it. And that's where the scooters really came in handy. The other thing about these last mile pieces of transportation is that you can hop up on the sidewalk and you can go in between things, and they're just so much more maneuverable than a bicycle. The nice thing is, these being so small, is that you just take them in with you wherever you go. Super handy, and you just hop right back on it. Now the one thing that we did do, which I much prefer, it's in the settings and you can change it. Hiboy has an app, and they also have a menu system here that you can change things. This was a push to start scooter, which meant the throttle wouldn't work until you kicked it and got it going about 1 mile an hour, and then you could use the throttle. We went in the settings and changed that. When you're just riding in and out of bathrooms and you just like to hop on and hit the throttle and go, we did change it to where it's not push to start, it is just the throttle will work anytime you want it to. So that's something to think about, that maybe if it's your first time with the scooter, maybe leave it on the push to start so you don't, as you're pushing it somewhere, you don't inadvertently hit the throttle. But you're not going to get out of control with this thing. It takes 4 to 6 hours to charge this thing, and this is the charge port here. It has a 2 amp charger, which is not the fastest charger in the world, but being that it is only 11.6 amp hour battery, it doesn't take that long to charge. You're looking at 4 to 6 hours from dead. The other thing I wanted to touch on that we didn't mention before is out of the box, we've put together a lot of e-bikes and reviewed a lot of e-bikes. This thing was the easiest to put together that I've ever unboxed. The box was small. There's 4 screws here with a hex head. It comes with that wrench. You put that together and you're pretty much done. This has been by far the easiest to use of all the e-bikes and things that we have had. There's just been no problems, no issues, no adjusting anything, you know, most of the e-bikes that come in, there's something out of true. There is the rear derailleur needs adjustment, the suspension is faulty out of the box, something. There's always been something, or we get error codes. This thing has just been completely flawless. Which is again why I like it for a last mile mode of transportation. Tires can't go flat. It's been flawless. There's no setup to it. It weighs 36 pounds. It's easy to carry. So we use this thing like you would use a toaster or a hot water heater. It's always there. It works perfectly. It's not going to wow you. You're not going to hop on the scooter and wow people. But it does what it's supposed to do. It does what is printed on the tin, and it has been amazing for us. And I think for under $500, you're not going to beat a last mile mode of transportation for this. And it's still super fun. Don't get me wrong. It's super fun. It will put a smile on your face, but it's not going to go 40 miles an hour and you're not going to keep up with traffic. So this pavement is very rough, and it's that kind of pavement that a skateboard or rollerblades are kind of miserable on. This perplexed me for about a week of riding this thing around. I kept hearing this funny little sound, and I thought it was electrical or something was wrong. And I kept hearing this really odd little sound, and then when we finally figured out what it was, you can get a seat post option for this scooter, which goes right here. And you can actually have a little seat, which I think for the way this would be used, I don't see a good use case for that. But what it does is it makes this little sound right here. And you can't see that while you're riding it, and you're trying your best to figure out what that sound is. It's actually kind of a funny little sound. All right, we're going to wait for it to get a little bit darker so we can show you off the headlight and the cool LED glow light on the bottom and the brake light. So we'll just sit here together and wait. So that's a really cool feature that's hard to show off in the daytime, but I just really wanted to capture that because when you're going down the road, you can see that underglow from a long ways off, and it's like it's a big safety thing, but it looks cool too. And the headlight is super bright. I was trying to figure out how to catch this on the camera well, but you can see all the way in the distance. Those trees are 35 yards in the distance back there. So now I'm going to light up my X-Nito helmet and take this thing for a night ride and kind of show you guys how well the lights work. Let's go. The other neat thing is that the brake light, you can see there, causes it to blink. It is activated whether you use the mechanical disc brake or whether you use the regen brake. It both activates that blinking tail light. So that's a pretty cool feature. But I've been really impressed with these lights. All right, so for under $500, I don't think you can beat this Hiboy S2 Pro for what you get for your money, the reliability. The website is stocked full of these parts. You can buy almost every part of this thing if you ever needed to from their website. It's been really an awesome workhorse for us for the last 2 months. We use it at work and at home, which our home is a camper. So I really can't recommend this little thing enough. And it's 36 pounds. It's easy to throw in the car when you collapse it down, but it's been super awesome. So go check it out. Let's see what else. Go check it out. Also, if you're interested in a cool helmet to go with your Hiboy scooter, check out X-Nito helmets because they also light up and look really cool at night. This video is not in any way sponsored by X-Nito, but we just really like helmets that are rated for e-bike and e-scooter speeds of 28 miles an hour and that light up. See you guys next video.